It's a good reminder that the existence of Christ does not begin in a stable in Bethlehem. Jesus has eternally existed because he is God. Colossians 1 says that he's the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For by him all things have been created, both in the heavens and the earth, invisible and visible, whether thrones, dominions, rulers, or authorities, all things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. So how rich was Jesus? He owns it all. You could take the Forbes list of the most wealthy people in the world today, add up all their wealth and assets, and it wouldn't even be a drop in the ocean in comparison to the riches and the glory of Jesus Christ. In fact, all that anyone has is on loan from God. The title deed to the earth has been given to Christ. But this passage isn't really talking about material possessions or wealth. It's talking about the spiritual riches of Christ's glory. Paul said in Philippians that although he existed in the form of God, that if you and I were in heaven prior to that first Christmas, we would have seen in some sense the triune being of God. And one of those beings would have been just as the others in all the fullness of glory as God the Son. Meaning Jesus displayed the fullness of the glory of God, full angelic worship, and the complete outworking of divine power. Folks, there's no way we can begin to comprehend the infinite nature of the wealth and riches of Christ's glory. But this passage tells us that while he was rich, he became poor. He impoverished himself. He gave it up. He didn't cease to be God. He's eternally God, but he emptied himself of the form of God. He voluntarily laid aside the use of his divine power, entered into the womb of a woman so that he could be born, and ultimately so that he might die. Can you imagine the conversation between God and the angel Gabriel? Gabriel, I need you to go down and visit Mary in Nazareth. And Gabriel responding, Lord, with all due respect, I think we can do better than Nazareth. It's the armpit of Galilee. And Mary, such a young girl, not even married, working class. For the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, surely we can do better than a stable in a manger. But it says he became poor. Jesus was born and raised in a family that probably lived below the poverty line. As a baby, he was hated. Herod pursued him and tried to kill him. Can you imagine Jesus as a young boy opening the scroll of Isaiah and reading from Isaiah 53 that he was pierced through for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities, the chastening for our well-being fell upon him, and by his scourging we are healed. And Jesus beginning to realize that that passage of Scripture is about him.